All right, good morning. All right, this is your pre-market prep for January 27th. All right, this week in the market, we have new home sales starting out on Monday, so you might take a look at some stocks like RH, Lowe's, and Home Depot. Tuesday, we got consumer confidence coming out around 10 a.m. On Wednesday, this is a big day. This is when Chair Powell speaks at 2:30, and the FOMC drops the interest rates at 2 p.m. On those days like that, I like to do a little trading in the morning, 9:30, between 9:30 and 10:30. And then after two, and then just wait until the market moves after the news breaks. And those are the times you can really catch a big move in the market, make a significant amount of money, but you have to be very careful between that time because it's very volatile and it can swing back and forth. Thursday, we're going to get some more news around the GDP at 8:30 and initial jobless claims. So those can also impact the market in the early morning trading. And then on Friday, we have another Fed speaker, Michelle Bowman, as well as we have the core PCE. So those are going to be some significant news that's going to impact the market during day trading. Again, on Wednesday is probably the big day. So you have to be careful if you're in any long swing trades or anything like that going into the Fed chair speaking if your contract expires at the end of this week. So some things you want to be watchful over. Let's take a look at our earnings. So what's coming up for earnings this week? All right, this morning we have SoFi. So we're looking at SoFi, some small banks. That's probably one of the the main things we'll be looking at outside of the other items that's on this list. On Tuesday, we have Boeing. So we have our industrials. So we'll be paying attention to Raytheon, Boeing, and Lockheed Martin. We're always looking for confluence in our trading. So we'll see how they move the market. Wednesday morning, you might take a look at Starbucks. That comes out with earnings on Tuesday night. Also, we'll probably be looking at industrials. We'll probably be looking for some either continuations or some reversals. The reversals a day after their earnings announcements are pretty good trades to look for. They can make good moves in the opposite directions, and then contracts tend to be a little cheaper. General Dynamics is also have its earnings on Wednesday. But Wednesday afternoon, remember we got the Fed speaking at 2:30, but we have Tesla, Meta, Microsoft, and IBM and ServiceNow. So for those who trade QQQ, anything in the tech sector, Thursday morning is going to be a big day. That is a day where you can really find some great moves in the market based on the earnings announcement. Again, you have to be careful for the first 10 to 15 minute fake out. Sometimes the earnings will spike real quick and then they can do a reverse. So you always got to be careful on earnings trades in that morning of, because they can move in one or other direction pretty violently. But also we have UPS and Caterpillar. Anytime you trade UPS, you can always look at FDX or FedEx as well and look for confluence in the movement there. Sometimes you want to do FedEx because the UPS contracts are a little high. We also have MasterCard and Visa, so we have some financials as well as moving into Thursday, Friday morning. Apple is also one of the major companies, so that's also a market mover. So that's going to be Friday morning. So you still have tech moving the market significantly on Wednesday and Thursday going into Friday. You also have some energy stocks there with ExxonMobil and Chevron. So good things about those stocks. They typically trade fairly cheap or reasonable. So you can get into those options. And if they make that $2 to $3 move, those exceptional moves on earnings, you can pretty make a good profit there. So those are the things that we're looking at. Let's take a look at how the market is setting up already for this morning. So we're going to take a look at, bring the market up, and we're going to take a look at the ES. So we'll get that square set up. All right, let's look at ES today. See how the market's moving in the morning. All right, this is how the market finished off on Friday. We had 59.48 as a support line. You can see it looked pretty bearish. We're going to go ahead and drop down into the hour since we're already in our early morning trading session. All right, so we had a significant drop overnight. We see that it is settling, so it's kind of bearish. We do see some significant resistance right here. Let's go take a look at that on the 4-hour. See how. All right, 4-hour, we're starting to see another line of our support. This is 59.64. So we have this range between 59.64 and 661. Yeah, that's probably a chop. I expect that we'll probably stay fairly chop until Wednesday or Thursday once the news break and we get the market movers going. Then we can either see a significant move back to our all-time highs and see if we test or break through that level, or we go ahead and drop. And you can see where we're looking at around 58.03. So yeah, yes, it's probably going to be fairly choppy until we get to our Fed Chairman Powell speaks, and then that flows right directly into the Tesla announcements, and from there that should determine the trend of the market for the next couple of days. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at SPY this morning, since it's one of my favorite stocks to trade. Take a look at it. As expected, SPY will make the same drop as the ES. We do see a couple of ranges setting up in here between 590 and 594. That's pretty tight. It's only $2-3, and then we see another range between 594 and 600. Let's drop this down to an hour and see how we're setting up. Yeah, it's kind of squaring off. Again, SPY is going to be patient with. It does have some good range areas here. There's a $3 drop between here and the next support level. It continues in this trend. We know sometimes after 12 or 1 o'clock, it might shift back to the upside. So we'll be patient with the SPY on Mondays. It's a tricky day sometimes to play our indexes. So a lot of chop on Mondays. Let's check QQQ. Let's see how QQQ is setting up for the morning. Not surprising, very similar to the SPY. It was bearish overnight. You see, we had a significant drop. So if you had holding on to QQQ from the weekend, from last week, you're coming into some profit, good profit today. Let's take a look at it on the 4-hour. Let's see what we got. All right, we see a level down here all the way at 500. Pre-market, we see the wick. So it may want to test this level again this morning. Again, you have to be patient. You can maybe hope for a reversal later in the afternoon and see if then that QQQ can come back up to 519. Otherwise, if it gets in a really tight range between here and there, we'll just have to wait that one out. Let's go take a look at it on a daily so we can probably get a better, see where everything is. Yeah. So when we left off on Friday on the QQQ, we was already up here at 524. We had a significant drop. We're already back down here testing our range at 500. Therefore, we're probably going to be waiting to see if it breaks this 500 and continues this trend, or if we get a bounce and it goes back to the upside. So that all happened after market from Friday. So you can see there was a significant drop. So again, if you're holding on to those puts going into this week, you are in the profit. Let's take a look at SoFi this morning. So that one has the earnings play. SoFi, I know, has been quite bullish. already at great highs, uh, all-time highs actually for quite some time. So SoFi has been very bullish, but earnings, as we know, plays a big part on where we are. And again, similar to the SPY, we've seen SoFi as well go bearish over pre-market from last week. We see a good setup between 1674 and around 18.1. So what you'd be looking for is to see if it's going to continue to break this. I wouldn't get in until it breaks 1668, and I would then continue to short SoFi. It looks pretty bearish, so this looks like a good short. I'll be watching this one, take profit. That might be the only trade I do today. We'll take a look at a couple other stocks. It just doesn't seem to have enough strength to go ahead and break this 18 or just 18.4038 for a continuation. So, but we'll be looking out for SoFi in the morning. Let's take a good look at AMD. This is another stock here. We've been watching AMD. We see it has some levels between 121, 125, 118. This could be a continuation to the low. We're going to take a look at this real quick. Let's go look at it on a larger time frame at the 4-hour. Oh, we see significant resistance at 112, 113. You see AMD has, like a lot of stocks, again, what we're probably going to see is a trend that a lot of stocks went bearish over the weekend, has dropped, and they're reaching their support. And so when we see that, we have to just be careful that it doesn't continue to chop. But you also want to try to find some stocks that do hit that support level and do respect the support level, and then you can find your intraday bounce. So AMD, might be looking for a bounce. I wouldn't play it in any other way because it's already near support. And so let's take a look at it on the hour again. We saw 113 as a support level, so it's at 118. It's around 740. Actually, I may take that back. If it stays chopping in this range, I get that good bearish candle, follow through on this large engulfing or elephant candle, whichever term you like to use. And we continue to get some follow through. It could chop back up in this range and then fall all the way back down to that 113 or 114 support. That's a $4 move. That's actually not bad. So we'll be looking at that, but we do see some weakness. But again, we definitely can't play it to the upside. It's just too close to 120. So we'll be looking for a good rejection here and a continuation to 114, 113. That is AMD. Again, this week, we would be talking about a lot more stocks, but since the market has so much news coming out on Wednesday and Thursday, whatever levels we look at for a swing trade throughout the week probably would not stay because of how the market's going to be moving this week. It's going to be a very volatile market. So please be careful of what you look at and what you find. Be patient and let the technicals be the technicals. All right. Well, thank you for checking out this video. Find this information helpful. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.